Next, Minneapolis, Minnesota, featuring RL, T-Lo, and Tweety, active since 1992. There was something unmistakable about the sound of late 90s R&B, a mix of smooth harmonies, seductive lyrics, and a touch of street swagger that made every slow jam feel like a secret between you and the speakers. No group captured that magic quite like Next. Formed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and brought to life by RL, T-Lo, and Tweety, Next was the kind of group that didn't just make songs, they made moments. Their 1997 debut album, Rated Next, was a phenomenon, riding the success of the hit single Too Close, a track so infectious it became a cultural milestone, earning double platinum status and landing at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. It wasn't just a song, it was an anthem, blending sensual lyrics with a catchy, feel-good melody that played on every radio and club in the country. But beneath the polished vocals and chart-topping success, the story of Next was anything but smooth. If there was ever a cautionary tale of what could go wrong with success, it was theirs. Riding the high of a double platinum debut, the group took 3 long years to release a follow-up album, an eternity in an era where R&B was rapidly evolving, and new stars were emerging almost every month. When they finally returned in 2000 with Welcome to Next-to-See, the world had changed. Audiences were older and some had moved on. The album still went gold and produced another hit with Wifey, but the momentum wasn't the same. And while their voices remained harmonized, their internal dynamics were falling apart. RL, the group's frontman and lead vocalist, would later reveal that tension had always simmered beneath the surface. Despite their success as a trio, RL often felt like an outsider, citing that the other 2 members, brothers T-Lo and Tweety, sometimes worked behind his back, making deals without his knowledge. That sense of isolation grew, leading to creative differences, hurt feelings, and eventually a fractured brotherhood that couldn't be repaired. Even as they tried to reunite years later, the magic never returned. This is the story of Next, how a group with limitless potential to dominate the 2000s R&B scene became a cautionary tale of what happens when time, tension, and poor decisions get in the way of greatness. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Jerome Jackson on IG for this request. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Next is an R&B group formed in Minneapolis, Minnesota during the mid-90s. The trio consisted of RL, T-Lo, and Tweety, 2 brothers and a lead vocalist whose voice would become the group's signature. Discovered by KG of Naughty by Nature, Next was quickly signed to Arista Records, a powerhouse label known for developing iconic R&B talent. Their debut album, Rated Next, was released in 1997, and it didn't take long for the group to make an impact. Led by the smash hit Too Close, a cleverly disguised dance floor anthem about physical attraction, the album went double platinum and solidified the group as one of R&B's most promising acts. But even as their fame skyrocketed, cracks began to form beneath the surface. The success masked creative and personal differences, and with a 3-year gap before their next album, those issues would soon become impossible to ignore. Stunt number 1, the 3-year disappearance. In the music industry, timing is everything, and for Next, their biggest mistake was letting time slip away. After the massive success of their debut album, Rated Next in 1997, the group had all the momentum in the world. They were fresh, popular, and radio couldn't get enough of their seductive yet smooth brand of R&B. But instead of striking while the iron was hot, they vanished. For 3 long years, no album, no major tours, and barely any presence in the public eye. In an era without social media, those 3 years were an eternity. Fans who once couldn't get enough of Too Close had moved on to other rising stars like Destiny's Child, Usher, and Jagged Edge, artists who kept feeding the R&B appetite with new hits. So, what caused the delay? The reasons are still debated. Some point to label conflicts and the struggle for creative control, while others hint to the growing tension between group members that would later become undeniable. Whatever the reason, the 3-year gap cost them dearly. By the time they returned in 2000 with their sophomore album, Welcome to Next-to-See, the industry had evolved. R&B was shifting toward a more mature sound, and the trio's romantic lyrics and club-ready beats felt slightly dated. Even though the album produced a hit with Wifey, which went on to become a wedding anthem, it only achieved gold status, a far cry from the double platinum success of their debut. And while Wifey kept them relevant for a moment, the damage was done. Their audience had thinned out, and many no longer saw Next as the fresh, exciting group they once were. It was the first sign that they were losing their grip on stardom, and worse yet, they didn't seem to realize it at the time. Stunt number 2, internal tension and isolation. Success can be a blessing, but for Next, it became a silent curse. While they were winning on the charts, they were losing within. Beneath the harmonies and polished image, the group was anything but unified. According to RL, the cracks started early. In a Vlad TV interview, RL revealed that he always felt like an outsider within his own group. Despite being the voice that carried their biggest hits, he wasn't always included in key decisions. T-Lo and Tweety, who were brothers, often operated as a duo, sometimes making business deals without RL's knowledge. That sense of isolation only deepened as their success grew. It's a dynamic seen in many groups, two members sharing a deeper bond, leaving the third feeling like an extra. But for Next, that dynamic was poison. As RL's frustration grew, so did his desire to carve out a path for himself. He began focusing on solo projects, including writing and producing for other artists, efforts that only added to the tension. From his perspective, he was trying to secure his future and explore his own talents. But from the perspective of T-Lo and Tweety, it may have looked like betrayal. After all, they were a group, and success was meant to be a shared journey. These differences weren't just about business, they were personal. And when emotions get involved, logic often takes a back seat. Instead of finding a way to resolve their issues, the divide grew. RL's talent became both a gift and a threat. His voice was their biggest asset, but his presence became a constant reminder of their fractured unity. In a genre built on connection and harmony, Next had become a group of three strangers, each moving in a different direction. Stunt number 3, a broken comeback and missed opportunities. By the time Next tried to make their comeback, the music industry had changed. The early 2000s saw the rise of newer R&B stars like Usher, Alicia Keys, and even groups like B2K, who captured the youth market Next had once dominated. After the release of Welcome to Nextasy in 2000, which achieved gold status but fell short of their debut's impact, the group's momentum was slipping. But instead of regrouping and addressing their internal issues, they continued to drift apart. RL, feeling further left out by T-Lo and Tweety's actions, focused more on his solo ambitions. His voice was undeniable, and the industry recognized his talent, giving him opportunities to write and produce for other artists. But while RL's individual profile grew, Next's brand weakened. When a third album, The Next Episode, was finally released in 2002, it was clear the magic was gone. The album barely made a dent on the charts, failing to recapture the success of their first two records. A major reason for this decline was their failure to adapt. Rather than changing with the new R&B trends, Next tried to bring back their old style, romantic lyrics, smooth harmonies, and sensual themes. But their sound now felt old, especially as artists like Usher pushed R&B forward with fresh production and deeper storytelling. To make matters worse, the group's internal drama didn't stay private. Rumors of tension, RL's feelings of betrayal, and the broken brotherhood became public knowledge. And in an industry where unity is part of the brand, that image of a divided group hurt them. Next would try to reunite multiple times over the years, but it was always clear they were a group in name only. All in all, Next was a group that had everything needed to become a lasting force in R&B. Talent, chemistry, and a sound that was both smooth and seductive. But their rise was cut short by poor timing, internal tension, and a failure to adapt. They went from double platinum success with Rated Next to struggling with their third album, The Next Episode, in just a few years. RL, the voice that made the hits unforgettable, found himself on the outside looking in, while T-Lo and Tweety's bond left him feeling like a third wheel. Even in their attempts to reunite, the spark was gone. Today, Next is remembered for their classic hits, but their story is a reminder of how success can fade faster than it arrives. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic, and I'm out.